Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks, a weekly entertainment and knowledge sharing program aired live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. Every week, Knowledge Talks hosts and invites guests that are experts, professionals, and leaders from the field that bring wealth of knowledge to you. Knowledge Talks also highlights and promotes talents in the country that contribute knowledge and success to the nation. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I'm your host, Tariq Al Barwani, along with our studio engineer, DJ Saleh, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorsteps on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Now, would you like to open a cafe but don't have the necessary knowledge or experience of managing one? Well, Ghada Al Harthi, the Omani entrepreneur and the owner of the Café G, is my guest today here at Knowledge Talks. Ghada Al Harthi is a successful entrepreneur with over 14 years of rich experience with Emirates Airline in ground operation and has made a great expertise in both customer service skills and managing enormous challenges. She is indeed my guest today, ladies and gentlemen. Ghada has recently been awarded the Al Mar'a Women of Excellence Award in 2014, and yes, another great feather on her hat. Ghada has established Café G with the first branch in Madinah Qaboos in June 2006 and opened a second branch in 2010 in Bank Muscat. Café is her cup of coffee indeed. Ghada is a deep and logical thinker, easygoing. Her mind never stops working, and yes, knowledge sharing is what she also loves to do. Ghada, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing today, Ghada?
I'm very well, thank you. I have to say, after the introduction and that music in the background, I already feel like a superhero.
MashaAllah. You are a superhero. You might not know that, but you are a superhero for everyone. For me too, by the way.
Thank you. That's
yes.
so sweet.
You know, I have known and read about you a number of times, but today, after going through your blogs and the kind of information you shared, you have become one of my most important fans that I have to keep on doing now. I have to ensure that from now onwards, I put your sites, your pages on my startup page so I get to see all the things that you do. Because I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Not only that, you know, Ahmed and Zainab came to me and then I told them, they saw the post that I'm going to have you on my show today. And they said, you know Ghada? I said, yes. Oh, we love her. I said, wow. And she said, one thing, Tariq, is we loved to go at her cafe and she has a mango latte and a date cake is wow. That's what Ahmed and Zainab have said. Now, when can I have the mango latte and date cakes?
Oh, when you start worrying about your weight.
And thank you very much for the mixed
cookies.
Cookies. I look forward to have them today, inshallah.
Thank you. With afia, inshallah.
Now, tell us about the Café G, the name, your experience, and the challenges so far.
Café G was my brainchild, which started. It was established back in 2006, and I want to tell you the reason as to why I established it. I was working with an airline, Emirates Airlines. I had been working with them for several years. And unfortunately, because I was in Muscat, the capacity for growth was very small. So it was a choice that I had to make at that time because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to grow. I felt I had a lot to contribute, but I was not getting the opportunity. So I decided that I would, you know, go out and start my own thing. And there were some issues that happened within my career in the past, which basically gave me the energy, because I'm the kind of person, when you push me against the wall, then it's you know, I fight back. I don't give up.
Mashallah, mashallah.
So that's basically how Café G was established. And at the time when I wanted to go out and do something for myself, I didn't know what it is that I wanted to do. All I said to myself was, you know what, I should capitalize on some kind of a skill that I have. And I thought about my skills and I thought, not a lot except for customer service. So how can I use that? And at the time, my friends and I, we used to go out for, you know, afternoon teas, and we would sit by the pool at the Cherry or the Hyatt or whatever, and we'd you know, order the cakes and the coffees and the stuff, but they were quite not the average person's price range. So that's when the idea came about, and I said, you know what? Why don't I just open something that people can afford, okay, at a reasonable cost, and that's not commercialized like many of the other franchise brands that we have. I want to be able to make unique cakes and bakes which have that homely, rustic feeling.
Yummy.
And that's pretty much how the idea came about, and then I just went for it.
Okay, and is this Café G a franchise?
Not at the moment. It's a local brand which is completely 100% Omani with international flair.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Now, Café G, the name.
Yeah.
Why Café G? Why not A, B? G, Ghada!
Yeah, you figured it out.
I got it now. MashaAllah, I got it now. So, Café G, because it stands for Ghada. I like that.
Thank you.
By the way, the name is good. Name is unique, and I love it. It's an Omani brand, right?
It's 100% Omani, yes.
Are you planning to open franchise outside Oman? Dubai,
I would love to be able to do that. In fact, I have had offers. I've had offers from friends in New York who would like to invest in my cafe, but I said, you know what, I think I need to open a few branches locally in Oman before I can think about heading all the way to New York. But inshallah, yes, that would be in the pipeline in the future, but not at this very moment in time.
Okay, so how many branches do you have so far?
I had 2 branches, but now I'm back to 1. We had a second branch for a couple of years in Bank Muscat. But due to some issues regarding the size of the place, we had to sell that branch off. So now we're back to 1 branch again.
And where is it located?
It's located in Al Madina Plaza, which is in Madinah Sultan Qaboos. We're in the same building as Bank Muscat, the headquarters, on the ground floor. And we're quite well known amongst the locals, especially the residents of MQ, and employees of some of the oil companies and banks are quite our regular
I know
customers.
a number of people have been speaking about it, even my relatives as well, mashallah. So when are you inviting me?
Anytime you like. You're more than welcome.
Thank you very, very much. Now, tell us, how do you find the market in Oman when it comes to cafes?
Okay, this is actually a very deep subject that we have to discuss, because when we talk about market, we have to identify what sector are we targeting. As far as Café G is concerned, we have a specific niche, and that niche, not that I planned it that way, it's just that the business dictated itself to targeting the middle and the upper high society of Muscat. I can only speak from my personal experience. So what this has done is that we have narrowed our market down to a very small niche in the market, which means that we're restricted as to what kind of locations we can open up in. We're restricted as to what kind of people will be attracted to us. So it's if you are considering opening a cafe, you first have to ask yourself, what kind of people do I expect to serve, and what kind of people would I like to have? It's always better for you to identify your market before you go into it. I'll tell you how I identified my market. I didn't. I didn't.
You created your own market.
I created my own market.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love that. That's like what Steve Jobs has done with the tablets as well, and with the iPhones. He created the market.
Yes, exactly. And that was, you're actually 100% right, because I still remember when I first started, a lot of people came up to me and they said, oh, this is going to be a disaster. You're going to fail. You've got like 6 months. And I said, well, why would you say that? And they said, Ghada, you're not giving anything that the market demands. Because my golden rule when I first opened was no Black Forest, no strawberry gâteau, no fruit cocktail cakes or whatever they used to sell, the typical, layered with cream and whipped cream and stuff. And we brought in like the chocolate velvet, we brought in the hummingbird, the caramelized apple cheesecakes, and so many other products which weren't available in the market at the time. And everybody kept telling me, oh, you're bound to fail because you're not providing what the market wants. And my response to them was, I'm not providing what the market wants because the market doesn't know any better.
I like that.
If I'm going to go into the market, I'm not going to go with the current trends. I'm going to go with what's 10 years ahead, what's happening around the world, because sooner or later Oman is going to catch up, and I like to be in the lead when that happens.
I love that.
Not following like a sheep. There are far too many people already doing what they do. I don't want to be like them.
And I want to be unique.
I want to be unique, exactly.
I love that.
So we had to actually re-educate our customers. I still remember when I was focused on doing healthy. I mean, I know cakes are not that healthy, but They are
but they're yummy.
But they're yummy, exactly. And they have fruit. That's healthy, right? So I started serving sandwiches with salads.
Okay.
And I still remember I had customers coming in. They said, "Don't you have any fries to go with it, or chips or whatever?" And I said, "No. If you want chips, we have Kentucky right next door to us."
Yeah.
And I said, "But why are you giving us salad? You know, nobody eats salad." I said, "Nobody eats salad yet." And then I would give them this little lesson, you know, in the way our bodies work. And I would ask them, I said, "Well, do you eat meat? You like meat, right?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Well, do you know how meat comes out of your body?" What are you saying? I said, "Well, meat doesn't come out of your body. You need to eat fiber so that it can wrap itself around like a toothbrush in your intestines and pull it out. So when I'm giving you salad, I'm actually helping you with your digestion process." And look, the salads are so yummy that people would actually ask me for the dressing so they could drink it like a soup.
Wow.
So it was a process of education, but eventually people did learn. And even with our coffees, you know, they were used to the American style of being served Italian coffee, whereas I'm serving the #1 gourmet Italian brand in the world, which is Illy Coffee, and I'm going to do it the way Italians do it. There is no sizes. There's no grande and large and extra large. It's just regular size.
I like that.
You know, and for people, it was like when they would come and ask me for macchiato, I would tell them, "Okay, are you used to drinking macchiato from an American brand?" They're like, "Yes." "Okay, well, you'd be surprised. This is actually a macchiato. It's a tiny little espresso, you know, with a little dollop of milk, steamed milk on the top." Like, "Oh, well, that's really tiny." I said, "Yes, but I'm not going to lie to you. That's what a macchiato is. This is the Italian macchiato, served the Italian way." So yes, it was a process of educating people. But you know what? I'm so glad, because it wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. And now when we look back, people tell us that we are the pioneering name behind the successful trend of gourmet cakes in Oman. We started that trend, alhamdulillah. So I think about 3 to 4 years later, we started seeing all these little cake shops started popping up. And especially women, they started going into this business full-fledged, and they started doing things from home, and they started doing online businesses. So I can look back and say, you know what? Yeah,
I've created an industry.
I've set a trend. I've set a trend, which I'm glad. Yeah.
MashaAllah. No, this is really good. This is really, really good. I'm sure there's a lot of admirers out there.
Me
too,
so.
by the way.
Thank you.
Now, tell me one thing. You mentioned restricting. That's what you mentioned when it comes to the business. You were restricted when you created the coffee. Do you mean you were restricting your business to a certain niche of the market, or you were restricted because of the environment in Oman?
I think it was a little bit of both, to be honest with you, but it depends in which context we speak about. We talk about the product. Yes, I restricted my niche in the market simply because we have a philosophy, and that's no compromise on quality. And if you talk about giving quality products, then obviously you cannot sell them at low cost prices, because everything that has quality has a high cost in buying. So you know, for example, as I said, we buy the most expensive coffee in the market, but I want my customer to have the best product.
I love that.
Okay, I could have gone with a typical average brand, but then I would maybe have more masses because it's cheaper to buy, but it's not me. You see, your business has to be a reflection of you. Not has to be, it is a reflection of you. Every person who does business, really, their ethics, their principles in their business is a reflection of their personality and character. And that's the way I see it. Now, I can't do cheap. That's just not me. I don't do fake, I don't do cheap. And I cannot do that in my business either, because that's just an extension of myself.
No, I respect that highly. Now, cafe being coffee, is that something you drink all the time? You like drinking coffee?
Actually, I'm a tea drinker. I'm not really much of a coffee drinker.
But looking at it, is it because, do you believe that people should do business of something that they're passionate about? I see the energy in you, by the way. I see that great talent in you, mashallah. I see some fantastic principles in you as well. As a lot of learning myself I'm going to be taking home today from just by chatting with you, by the way.
Thank you.
But I want to know the passion with Café G.
Okay, let me tell you something when it comes to passion. The passion, of course, is very, very important, okay? But more so, if you are going to go into business, it should be about something that you have at least a little bit of knowledge about. For example,
about whatever you're doing, the product that you're
doing. I love food. And when I studied abroad, because I was studying in the UK, we did home economics. I knew the science of baking, you see, and I just built myself on that knowledge of how to produce things, different varieties of cakes and so on and so forth. If what I'm passionate about, of course, is doing business in general. It could be anything. I'm not emotionally attached to the businesses that I do, but I am passionate about the way in which I do things, if that makes any sense to you. Not exactly the thing that I do, but the way in which I do it. If my name is attached to it, it better be perfect. I'll either do it perfectly or I won't do it at all, which can sometimes be a drawback, but that's just the way I am.
I'm very much looking forward to come and have the coffee at your cafe.
I hope so. And as I said, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
But I did want to make sure that if I serve it, I serve only the best. And for that, I had to then go and read a lot about coffee. I had to read about the beans, about the Arabica, and about the Robusta beans, and the process of storage and serving. And there's a science involved even behind the kind of cups that you serve them in. So after doing all of that research, then I said, okay, you know, this is the brand that I'm going to go for.
You know who you remind me of?
Who's
Do you
that?
know Jeff Bezos?
No.
You know On Click? There's a book I just bought, which I posted on my social media. It's called On Click. It's about the rise and the popularity of the largest online bookstore in the world.
Okay.
Amazon. So
yes.
Jeff Bezos is the CEO.
Okay.
Now he is the best CEO in the world. I see you to be not only going to be the best in Oman, but all over the world too.
No.
Why am I saying that? Let me just base on what put it with fact. Jeff Bezos, what he did was he went and read about books. He attended courses about books, how bookstore works, and then he went out there, and he's still doing it right now, trying to ensure that he gives the customers the best that they can get. You see, and that's what I see in you, mashallah.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Now, tell me one thing now.
Yeah.
Do you need to have business training, knowledge, or should one attend a training in business or have an MBA or sort of that in order to start a business?
I'm giggling at that question. I studied business in high school.
Okay.
But because I graduated early from the UK, and then I had to continue my education when I came back to the UAE because I was too young to get into the university over there, I had to repeat a year.
Okay.
And as part of my repetition year, I took up business studies. But I was so upset that I had to repeat a year that I didn't bother to buy myself any textbooks. And I got a B+ in business.
Okay.
And I never bought a textbook.
That's big. MashaAllah.
That's, for me, business is logic. It's understanding. See, I'm terrible in mathematics and physics. Those are like my worst subjects ever. I'm very good in science and things like this. But that's just about myself. Now, if you ask me about a regular person, of course you should, if you're interested in business, go out and study business, study the ethics of business, study the laws of business, study the concept of doing business. For me, I don't know, maybe I was just born with that little thing inside of me that helped me to be where I am today. But probably I could have done a lot better if I had actually done an MBA.
Okay.
You know, it definitely would have been an added advantage.
Yeah, where an MBA would definitely give you the necessary knowledge you need to know about running a business and the different functions that are there in the business.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about, I know you said you were working for Emirates Airlines, and I'm sure you've worked in different places as well. Today you're not an employee.
No.
You are an owner.
Yes.
You get employees.
Yes. I'm an employee of my own company, though.
Own company.
Yes.
Can I send you my CV and join your company?
I
would love to work with you. I mean, because you're a perfectionist, and I like the way you think. Oh, mashallah.
It would be an honor.
So, talking about how, can you compare from being an employee, your feeling now, being an employee compared to how you are today, being the boss of your own business?
Okay.
Challenges, difficulties, your experience, so that people would learn. People who are listening right now will learn about, okay, so today I'm an employee. I would like to become Ghada tomorrow. I would like to have our own business. What are the things they should be prepared of?
Whoever is an employee today and has ambitions of becoming a business owner tomorrow, I will tell them only specific advice, okay, which is do not get fed up from any amount of burden that your work gives you, because that is a learning step at the cost of another company. When I was working, I was literally dumped with a lot of other people's work on my head, people who are too lazy to do their own work, but I never rejected it. because the knowledge that I gained from that experience has made me so much more richer in being able to execute and apply that knowledge into my own business today. I learned at the expense of somebody else. Okay, so if I had made any mistakes, it wouldn't have costed my company. It would have costed them. They gave me the trust, and of course I didn't abuse it. I used it to better myself. So whoever is an employee today, whoever is being under pressure with work, I say take this opportunity to absorb as much experience and knowledge as you possibly can, because one day, inshallah, when you do take that step towards establishing your own business, you will be prepared like a champion.
I love that. I respect that fully, ladies and gentlemen. That's Ghada, the owner of Café G. We're going to take a quick break before we continue our session today. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Café G, and the owner is Ghada herself. And in fact, right now, the studio engineers took the break and came and took my sweet, my biscuits over here. And yes, I've got, whatever I have, I'm going to take it with me at home. They've all loved it over there, and they seem to want to have more of it, mashallah. And for all the others who are listening today here, you could go to Café G, and you can have the cafe, you can have the biscuits and all the sweets at the cafe itself.
Thank you.
Ghada, tell me one thing. Yes. I believe you have you are working with a Rafid on a project.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, could you please tell us your experience?
Yeah.
And also for someone like me personally, I would like to know, I've heard about Rafid, but I want to know more about it. What do they do, and how would it, what would it take for someone who has an idea to go to Rafid and work with them? What do they do basically?
Okay, for those of you who haven't heard about Rafid, it's actually a government project which was established under the orders of His Majesty the Sultan, Allah yahfadhu wa tawla fi umar, inshallah. He started this project, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe he started the project with 70 million Omani riyals dedicated to a fund.
Okay.
And every year they put 7 million riyals into that fund to help people establish their businesses. It's for people who are already established entrepreneurs, to help them grow, and for people who wish to be potential entrepreneurs in the future. And what the fund does is that they basically give you the financial means in order for you to grow your business.
Okay, that's very nice. Now, before we continue, we've just got a call right now. Just pick it up and...
I didn't know we were receiving calls.
On a daily, on a weekly basis, we receive calls on 24602058.
Okay.
I haven't mentioned it today, but I knew you have a lot of fans, by the way.
I hope so.
A lot of people are talking about you. Today, people are saying, Ghada is on air, where they're all tuning in. So we have a caller on air. Hello?
Salam alaikum.
Hello?
Salam alaikum.
Hello?
Salam alaikum.
Okay, I guess we've lost him. Hello?
Salam alaikum.
Okay, I guess we've lost the caller. But the number to call in is 24602058. And if you do call, please ensure that you turn off the radio. Otherwise, we're going to have an interference. We will not be able to hear you. You will not be able to hear us as well. We have we now do have a caller. Hello?
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Okay, I guess we've lost them again. 24602058, ladies and gentlemen. So we were talking about Rafid.
Yes.
Rather. Yes.
So Rafid basically, as I said, it's a facility that funds projects, and it's government sponsored. And let me tell you something about Rafid. I don't think anywhere in the world, do we have a government entity that is so dedicated to help its nationals and citizens develop themselves and develop their businesses as we do in Oman.
MashaAllah.
Their interest rate is 2%, but before people start jumping into the that it's riba and all that stuff. No, it's nothing like that. So if you are, especially people are concerned about the religious factor of having to pay interest. It does not work in the same way that banks do. It's a very it's Islamic orientated fund. And of course they have different categories depending on what it is that you do, whether you're a startup or whether you are expanding your business. And I have been fortunate enough to be a beneficiary of the Rafid fund. So we will be expanding our business, inshallah.
Fantastic.
It won't be Café G, but it is in the field of food and beverage. We will, inshallah, be opening our own catering company.
And that's with the support of Rafet?
That's with the support, 100% support of Rafet, yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. You don't mind me asking, what are the fund that they provide? Is it millions?
No. I believe that, well, I didn't apply for millions, but it's up to 100,000 as far as I know.
Okay.
And sorry, because I'm already established business, so I can go up to 100,000, but they do have from 10,000, 20,000. I read in the newspaper, by the way, that they would also be giving away 1,000 riyals to the graduates of high schools once they leave the high school to help them start up projects, which is a fabulous opportunity for young people who will be graduating.
Their own business.
Yes, exactly.
I respect that fully. Now, can anyone, is it people who are also working, start up a business, approach Rafet and say, we need some funds, we've got a business, and start up a business, or it needs to be someone who doesn't have a job?
There are certain criteria, of course. You do need to be unemployed so that you can put 100% focus on your fund, because let me just make one thing very clear, by the way. It's not free money. You do have to return it back.
Okay, with 2% interest.
With 2% interest,
and
of
when
course.
do you return it back?
They give you a time period to return it back, which is, of course, a lot more than what a bank or any other facility would offer you. However, you do not have to put up any collaterals. You do not have to put up, your life saving, your house or whatever on mortgage to get this. But your company does go on mortgage.
Okay, let us just pick up the call that came in right now. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
I can't hear anything.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, I guess I'm losing all the calls. We're receiving a lot of calls, by the way, Ghada, for you. And it seems the studio engineers are working to see how they can be able to get it back. Now, it's obviously not free money, but you will be able to pay back to them, you said, with how long? Is it?
Well, it's up to 16 years, I believe, for people who have taken up to 100,000. For the first 16 months, you actually don't have an interest to pay. So if you start a business and you make like millions back in the first year, you pay them back the exact amount you've taken. You don't even owe them any interest.
Oh, that's nice.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. And do they give you the whole amount that you're asking for straight up, or
no,
is it?
You do not get paid anything directly into your account. So it's not like you can take 100,000 and go on vacation in Bahamas or anything. Like people might have that imagination. It ain't gonna happen. No, they give you a small amount of money as a capital startup, which is I think about 20% of the entire loan that you have taken. The rest of it goes from banks to your suppliers directly. So for example, in my case, a majority of my money is going to be going into buying equipment. So I bring the quotations and they give directly to the supplier whatever quotations I have received, but I still have to bargain, of course, so that I can get more within the amount that's allotted to me.
No, this is really good, what Rafet are doing. And how long does it take for one to get that fund? The process.
The process, okay. As you can imagine, when someone tells you that we are giving you money and you don't have to do anything or put up any collateral or put up anything on mortgage, you can imagine the waiting list that's going to be there. It's going to be thousands and thousands of people. True. So my advice is that if you are planning for something in the near future, you better start getting all your information collected from now, because the process can take between 3 to 4 to 6 months even, because there is a huge waiting list and they do have to go through every case. They have to scrutinize it from A to Z. Because while I was waiting in the waiting room, I did see people who came in there who had absolutely no clue about what they wanted. Just like, I want to do this business. Okay, well, what do you have as supporting documents? What do you mean supporting documents? Like, okay, what's your idea? Do you have a business plan? Do you have a concept? No, my idea is I'm going to do this. I'm going to get money this way. Like, okay, but if you go to a bank, you obviously have to prove to them that you are able to make money and return it back to the person who's lending it to you, whether it's Rafad or whether it's a bank or whether it's any other entity. So a lot of people need to know that you are going to get questioned. You will have to do an interview. You will be scrutinized, because at the end of the day, it is money that you're borrowing and they need to make sure that you have the ability to pay it back. But they are very, very supportive and they will help you as much as possible.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much for sharing your experience with Rafet. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Rafet, an organization that is available over there to give you a lot of money, but not to go to the Bahamas, as Ghada has put it right. Tell me one thing. Do you agree with this statement? We are all in the gutter, but some of us are staring at the stars.
Yes.
Do you remember this statement of?
Yes, I did. I wrote that. I mean, I didn't say it, but yes, I wrote it in my blog.
What do you think about that statement?
Okay. The way I think when I said it is that many times we find ourselves in very difficult situations, but we always have to keep our eyes towards our goals. We have to understand that we have a vision, and we have to work towards it.
Okay.
If you are you're stuck in a situation, okay, you shouldn't look at the situation that's around you. You should try to look beyond that to see, because you have to be able to focus on the end of what it is that you want to achieve in life, whether it's in your personal life or in your business life.
Okay, and now we've got a caller. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Tariq, how are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. This is Hatim Al Salam.
Hatim Al Salam, how are you doing today?
Hatim, how are you?
Fine, Ghada. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, it's nice to hear you after a very long time.
Thank you. And I think I still have your book, by the way.
And I'm still waiting for that message,
I'd like to
Hatim.
compliment Ghada on her achievement on Café G. She's done a tremendous work, and mashallah, I would have to admit that your chocolate is the best that I've ever tasted. And I was very sad when you closed the branch in Bank Muscat.
Yes, that's unfortunate.
Because it was close to my house, and whenever I leave work, that's the first place I would head to.
Oh.
But I really compliment you, especially the chocolate cake that you have.
Thank you.
The blend of sugar and sweetness taste in the cake is amazing. SubhanAllah.
Allah barik fik, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ghada, for giving us the nice goodies. I feel bad today I'm not in the studio. The guys are sharing the cookies without me.
You can pass by the cafe and I'll keep a box for you, Hatim.
But I want my share
of
course.
Of course.
Okay.
Sheikh Hatim, by the way, congratulations for launching the project for youth, for the kids, mashallah. And soon we're looking forward to speak to you on air on this.
Mashallah.
Inshallah.
But I'm still waiting for the message.
How about we make it next week?
Inshallah. ولا يهمك خلاص. Done deal. We'll catch up inshallah.
So when you invite me next week, please bring the cookies from the G Cafe.
Inshallah. Thanks a lot, Hatim.
Consider it done, Hatim.
Thank you. Bye.
Barakallahu feek. Now everyone is speaking about it, from my relatives, from Sheikh Hatim Al-An, and everybody speaking big about the products that you give. MashaAllah. I must come. In fact, I need to ensure I need to as soon as I leave the studio today, I need to come and visit your cafe.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah. You have also said one of the statements that I liked in your blog. By the way, your blog is known as the Sarcastic Philosopher.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of interesting articles.
Thank
I loved
you.
it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you need to go and read interesting articles, that is the blog to go, and that is of course from Ghada, the experience herself. Ghada, you said if you're jobless there is hope, and if you're hopeless there is a job. Is that still a scene right now?
The scene has changed, because I did write that a few years ago, as I said to you, and especially with the establishment of Rafad. By the way, I'm not getting paid by Rafad to say this. I just want to make that very clear.
You're not working for them as a marketing executive or something?
I'm not working for them.
You're not part of a board or something? I'm just kidding.
Nothing like that. But I do want to say, and I think it's really important that people should know this, because I know a lot of people feel a little bit adamant to approach a government entity. Rafad is unlike any other government entity. They are actually government that are here to support the citizens. I know that sounds a bit strange, but that's what's been my personal experience with them. And they helped me in certain situations where I was stuck with other government entities regarding my work, and they helped me resolve those.
Oh, mashallah, very good.
And they have this open door policy. I mean, if you go to visit their offices, everything is glass. They don't have any brick walls.
Wow.
So that you can meet the CEO, you can meet the GM. Fantastic people. Let me tell you something. We've all had our experiences when we go to typical ministry, with a typical ministry attitude that we get, because they see thousands of millions of people every single day. But this is one place where they come to, where you go to them and they say, don't worry, we're here to help you. Whatever you need, we will help you. And just hearing those words, it gives you some kind of sense of peace in your heart. And I've mentioned it to them as well. I said, whether I receive any kind of help from you or not, 90% of my stress is relieved that I hear, someone who has the authority to tell me that we're here to help you and we'll take care of you. That's really important.
Where is the office located?
Their office is in Ghala.
Okay.
As you take the road that takes you to the airport from the backside, after at the signals at the Grand Mosque.
Muscat Express Road?
Yes.
Okay.
But way before the express road. When you're coming from the I'd call it Adeba roundabout, not the Adeba roundabout, but the Adeba traffic lights, you go straight and there'll be another set of traffic lights. If you go to the left, you'll go towards the masjid. If you go to the right, it's Murtafa'at al-Matar, I think.
Okay.
That road, and it's probably the second or third building, and you can't miss it. There's a huge flag on the top, and that's where Rafat.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And people to normally apply for the business loan,
yes.
They would need to do it online or go to them directly?
I went to them directly. To be honest, it's better for you to go directly because you can get a lot of information. I'm sure people have a gazillion questions that they need answered. So it's better just to go directly, get the forms, get the information, and then submit your ideas and prepare for your business plan and prepare to meet the team, because there will be a committee that will, as I said, question you inside out. So you better know your product and you better know what it is that you're coming to sell, literally, even though you are asking for money, but you have to sell your idea to them.
Okay. Who's your role model?
Who's my role model? It depends in which context, because I have role models in different areas of my life. Of
business?
Course. In business, it's definitely Richard Branson.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Since I was a kid, I admired that person, and I said, you know what? I need to meet this person one day. I need to be like him. And we came so close to meeting him that day, didn't we? I think you were there. So yeah. So as far as business is concerned, it's Richard Branson, but I have a lot of other role models as well, depending on the context of my life, obviously. Okay,
tell me one thing. Low oil prices means impact on our revenue.
Yeah.
High dependence on oil needs to shift to different sectors.
Yes.
Agree or not? What's your thoughts about it? Absolutely. I think we need to diversify our market, and that's why it's so important to give SMEs an opportunity to flourish, because as we know, we have some big sharks in the country, or big hamours, or whatever you want to call them, who have taken chunks of the market, and this is where Rafat again plays a huge role, because they are leading the way for SMEs. They're opening doors. Like, for example, they've just recently announced that any project that's worth up to 50,000 needs to be allocated to an SME. Okay.
Yes, I want to tell you something else as well. Like, I got called to do catering from a few ministries the other day, and they said, can you provide for us snacks and so on and so forth. And I asked them, I said, yes, of course, I'll be happy to do that. But can I ask you, from where did you get my contact? And they said, well, Rafat gave us your contact.
Wow.
Yes. And
that's really good.
Exactly. And what they had said is that our minister has ordered us to only utilize Omani companies.
Okay. Omani means SMEs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There was one organization that had booked an order with one of the 5-star hotels to provide lunch for them for their meeting, and they cancelled it.
Wow.
Because the minister said no.
Give an opportunity
to the SMEs, and I am so glad. And I need to take this chance. I don't know if we're running out of time, but guys, whoever is out there listening to this, and you are an SME and you are a service provider, we are going through a service revolution. I think we've been going through it for quite a while now. Okay, it's one thing to have a product, but it's another thing altogether to have great service, and that is something. What is service? Service really cannot be defined. It's just a feeling that you give your client, and it's obviously a good feeling. Whether it's services, can be good or bad. So make sure that the feeling is always towards the good. There is opportunities being handed over to us on a silver platter. Okay, but how we use it to our advantage is up to us. We need to be able to make the most of it. We need to work on our quality standards. We need to work on our products. We need to diversify ourselves. We need to be a bit more open-minded and a bit more accepting. And we also need to look at competition in a different way. I mean, I know that I can go on talking about this forever and ever and ever. But again, competition for me is a very important topic as well. My advice always would be to play fair and have ethics and principles. And you will win the respect of not just your competitors, but also your clients. And it will be a long race, a slow race, but you will definitely end up winning in that sense.
Ghada, let me tell you one thing. I go to many times when I give presentations, I speak about renowned people. I talk about Steve Jobs. I talk about Richard Branson. Today, from now, after leaving this show, I'm going to talk about Ghada jobs. I'm going to talk about Ghada Al Harthi herself. I like your style.
Thank
I like
you.
how you explain things. I like how you are dedicated and how you are focused. And I'm sure, inshallah ta'ala, you will make it big. You will make it great, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Don't forget us, though.
No, never.
Anything you wish to share with our audience before the end of our program today?
Yes, I would actually. I think I have a lot to say. So guys, I'm really, really sorry if I'm trying to rush through everything that's, flowing through my mind right now. I just want to say that as an Omani citizen, as your sister, and as you people out there listening to me, as my brothers and sisters both in nationality and in religion and in humanity, I would like to say that please take care of your ethics, take care of your principles, and everything else in life will take care of itself. And work towards having the best, and never ever for a single moment allow your fame and your popularity to go to your head. Every single day I look at myself and I say, oh my god, I don't think I deserve this. Oh my god, I don't think I deserve this, because I always feel there's a room for improvement. If I stood one day and I said, yes, that's it, I'm perfect, I'm great, that's the day I'm gonna fail. And that's the day everyone is gonna fail. Whatever you do, even if you're the best, there's always room for improvement. There's always place to grow. And if you're not growing, then it means that you've obviously gone wrong somewhere. So don't be in a hurry. When I opened my business, and I'm still in the same line of thought, it was not about the money, it was about building credibility, it was about building reputation, and then money follows. If you run behind the money is going to run away from you. But if you make sure that you earn yourself a reputation and credibility, money is going to come pouring at your doorstep. And I'm telling you this from my personal experience, and it's not just coming off as something I've read somewhere. So
Ghada, I love every word that you said today.
Thank you.
MashaAllah.
Thank
you very much for joining us today on Oman Radio FM 90.4
Barakallahu
to
feekum,
share about your passion and entrepreneurial journey. I wish you have a great stride, inshallah, and I'd like to take the opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all you do. And yes, I will be coming for the cafe.
Inshallah. I wish all the success to everybody here, to you, Tariq. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and to everybody out there who's listening, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Join us again next week, inshallah, at 5:30 on Oman Radio FM. Ma'as salama.